Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I want to talk to you more about the Natasha Denona Triochrome palette as well as the Baby Yoda palette by Colourpop. Before that, make sure that you're subscribed, and I'll as always leave the details down below on how you can enter for regular giveaways. And yes, I haven't forgotten about the Pat McGrath quads and the new Celestial Divinity collection that I'm still waiting on some shipments before I can give you my final thoughts on that entire collection. So let's go straight ahead into the Natasha Denona Triochrome palette. So we talked about it a little bit in my previous video, but now we have some actual photos of it by an Instagrammer called Your Pearls of Beauty, which I'll link her Instagram below. She also did some swatches, and honestly guys, I'm a little underwhelmed. I just imagined it to be more greenish purple, and those triochromes or those multi-chromes, they don't look that special. And everything else in the palette looks like you could get it from your Norvina Volume 2 or Volume 3. So what's really special here spending $129? Well, again, the marketing here is on those 3 shades, triochromes, and I am not really excited. I mean, sure, it might be fun to have a powder form of the scarab shade, but even this Instagrammer, Pearls of Beauty, when she compared it with her Pat McGrath Divine Rose palette, it doesn't seem like it would be superior or that special. And honestly, that kind of underwhelms me a little bit. Only the color, the scarab, is interesting, and I already have that in my multi-chrome liquids from Natasha Denona. And I don't know why she didn't just release a 5-pan palette instead, but I guess that makes sense if she just wanted to make more money by releasing a $129 palette, which she hasn't this year, and her $65 palettes seem to have been doing a lot better compared to the $129 ones, which like I mentioned in my previous video, do end up going down to $65 when they have all these various colors in them. The ones that seem to be keeping their price are the ones that are more. So like I said, I suggest that to wait a little bit longer if you are really interested in this triochrome palette, because I don't think that a lot of people are going to be shelling out that kind of money for getting a bunch of bright pastel colors or bright colors compared to like the Metropolis, which was an investment because you were getting a ton of colors. This one here, it's kind of hit or miss. Now, while it's not patchy, it's not swatching quite as bright as it is in the pan either. So my thoughts are that you need to use a lot of base to use it. And again, I wouldn't jump on it for the VIB sale. I still think that in time these things will be marked down, and there might even be a BOGO sale at some point. So I would hold off on buying that, and don't fall for the limited edition, because Metropolis was also a limited edition and nothing has truly gone away. All right, so another thing I want to talk about before I get into the Baby Yoda palette is the new releases from this month. I picked up the Tapatio hot sauce palettes, both the red ones and the gold ones. I also did get a lot of skincare this month, which I'll talk to you guys about. And as you guys know, my swatches are pretty light, and I also don't use any primer, but I'm not really happy with this palette in general because it has some glitter in it, and those hot sauce shades are not really working out for me. I did, however, like the gold yellow palette because it does have some nice shifty orange in it, and I think that the green in there, which I'll show you guys in a second, has a beautiful shift. So the yellow one is called El Dorado, and as you guys can see, compared to the red one, which is Diablo, the colors are more consistent, so it doesn't smell or taste like pepper. And if you had to choose between one or two, go for the yellow or gold one. Now, from the Juvia's Place Royalty gift set, the palette is the standout one, and I think it's worth the money because the shades are pretty pigmented. It's easier to remember that purple is a royal color, so that's why they call it Royalty. And for the yellow one, they just decided to call it the Glow Eye and Lip Gift Set because I guess Glow Eye is more like golden. But here, really, the purple is the standout shade, and I think that the palette out of the entire collection is the most worth it compared to the lip items that are kind of mediocre. The palette is the standout feature here. So this is a $26 set, which you can get for 20% off at Ulta. I believe you can also get a discount if you're buying it from Juvia's Place directly. And it makes sense why they paired it with lip items this time, because usually their palettes are so cheap by themselves. They're like $12. So they matched it up with these lip items so they can ask for a bigger price, and it's really in a set. But when I went ahead and swatched these lip items, I wasn't quite sure if it's worth it. So it comes with 2 different shades. One of the lip balms is in caramel, which is a rich nude, and passion fruit, which is a deep red. So I think this one is the caramel, which is kind of like a nudie color. And as you guys can see, they swatch pretty well. The other one that I didn't like so much was called the Nubian Glow Eye and Lip Gift Set. This one was also $26, but I'll tell you why I didn't really like this one as much. First of all, the palette. So if we look at this, they do both have 6 shades, but the shades, like, the first problem is there's no deep shade in there to like go and create a deeper look with. You only have like basically an orange yellow for the middle part, and then a shimmer, so you don't really have anything to deepen the look and style of palette, because you only get 2 shades to create a look with, and I'm not really a fan of 2 or 3 shades, and especially orangey yellow for the holidays. But what I did like were the lip glow balms from this collection. The lip glow balms were very smooth, and I thought they are not super sticky or gloopy, and they do kind of smell kind of light, which is very pleasant. So out of this whole package, I think that the lip balms were probably my favorite of the bunch. If I had to finalize all these that I bought, I would recommend the Golden Tapatio and the Purple Juvia's palette. Another thing I picked up was this Murad skin set from Ulta, and it comes with 4 pieces. And I still haven't used it as much, but generally Murad has gone down a little bit in as far as quality and how much product you're getting. Last year they were giving you a bigger set, but I do like these holiday sets in skincare in general. So again, back to what would I recommend? Probably not the Murad set because the amount you're getting is little, but I do recommend the Juvia's Purple Royal palette. And then I also got some more other palettes, which I will talk about in another video. I also did get the Dose of Color Cutting Edge palette for $32. Now, I know mine came shattered, but even if it wasn't shattered, I don't still think it's worth $32. The colors are mediocre, and there's just nothing special about it. Like, if you're going to come out with a green palette, make it exciting. Like, Melt Cosmetics is coming out with a green palette, or another green palette that just came out that we predicted would be similar to the one that Doodles by Bunny put together in 2019. Is the Baby Yoda Colourpop Star Wars Mandalorian collab, which I don't know why they insisted on using a filter to sell their palette and using this toy, but I get it. They want to sell the cuteness of it. If they were just selling an olive green palette like Dose of Colors, that would be pretty boring. But here they can market it to lots of people, to put on a filter, which I think is weird. This filter is a little bit misleading, and it makes you think there's a lot of glitter in here, which there probably isn't. It's just the same old Colourpop with a different packaging, and I guarantee that this will sell out like as always. Unfortunately, a lot of orders will get canceled, and a lot of people will wait weeks to find that orders get canceled. That's usually how it goes with Colourpop releases. They're really good at promoting, not so good at delivering. My advice as always is don't panic. If you already owned these Colourpop palettes in the past, you probably already have these shades. There's nothing new that brings my attention here other than the fact that they added a glittery filter, which I think is very misleading. Now, one thing I do like about this palette is there's no pressed glitter, and looking at the swatches, I don't think it's that bad. I think it's actually pretty good if you don't already own the Gemini palette or an olive tone palette, and usually these are priced around $12, so I think it's probably because of the Disney licensing that it had to go up to $16, the same as the Hocus Pocus that was about $20. Now, with the new season of Mandalorian being just around the corner, you're going to see a lot of Disney merch, as well as other people jumping on to merchandise on everything that comes out. It's all really about what's popular right now. A few years ago, BB-8 was all the craze, so if the makeup industry was as big as it is now, they would probably have a BB-8 palette release at the same time. Anyway, let me know in the comment section below if you're going to be picking this up. I personally am not a fan of setting an alarm up to race against a lot of bots, but I do have a bunch that I was able to get last time from Ulta, so make sure that you're subscribed and to be entered into those giveaways, which I'll leave the description down below. As always, thank you so much. Let me know what you guys will be picking up, and as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.